Good evening and welcome to the Virtual Artist Cafe. From canvases to curations to couture and community, everything is open for discussion. This event is produced by the Baltimore Office of Promotion and the Arts, the city's Arts Council, Event Center, and Film Office. I'm Jackie Downs, Director of the Arts Council for Baltimore City, and am delighted to have you all joining us this evening. Tonight's finale talk features Bishme Cromartie, American fashion designer from Baltimore and Project Runway finalist. I present to you live in the Atelier with Bishme Cromartie.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I want to thank everyone that's in here with me right now. Also want to thank Boba for allowing me to have this moment, checking into my favorite place, which I was born in, Baltimore City. It's one of those things that I'm going to dive into it once we have some more people and I have some of my guests. But being able to have this moment is just a 360. Not only is Baltimore supporting me in the many years and the many ways that they have, but to be in LA and be able to do this is just an amazing thing. Tonight, I'll be having some guests with me. I'll be talking about the process of creating a collection. I'll be talking about draping. If you could believe it or not, this whole dress is just draped. One of the things I'll be talking about once we get into it today. As far as me, I'm gonna just jump into it. Of course, I'm from Baltimore, born February 16th. I was born in Mercy Hospital, so if anyone was born in Mercy Hospital, you're special. Not to say no one else isn't, but growing up in Baltimore has always been one of the eye-opening things for me. I learned how to design. I learned how to draw. I found out who I was as a person. I actually discovered that I was a fashion designer while growing up in Baltimore and being around so many creative people. I grew up with friends who would always draw. So having, I guess, the basics of learning how to design or the tools you need to design come to me gradually through growing up in Baltimore. Allowed me to effortlessly be myself. So with that being said, to be able to be here again, thank you. What I want to make sure that I mention, fashion has a way of telling stories and history. And throughout the night and throughout everything, I want to make sure that we stay focused on learning about and knowing about what times we are in now. Especially with myself being a Black man and an artist, I'm able to use my art to showcase my voice and talk about what matters to me. And right now, it's a lot that's going on in the world, and the way how you can articulate how you feel and talk about what you want, what you believe, and what you stand for. You can use your art for that. So tonight, that'll be in the discussion. I don't want to say it yet, but I think I already mentioned I have one of my cast members, Vinny, that I'll be talking to. It's a lot. So again, with this happening now, I'm just gonna make sure you guys know off the top, I'm nervous and it's been a long time, but we're gonna get into it. One of the first things that I want to talk about is moving here during the pandemic to LA. It's crazy to have something on your goal and your list of things to do, and you not realize that it's still world things that can happen. I moved to LA March 2nd. So when I moved here, I was on tour. I had a tour set, and I actually had two tours that I had to go on. And to see that, to know that something was happening, this pandemic was happening, but it not settling in until work happened, it amazed me to know that no matter what you're doing or how hard you're working, something can always happen and redirect your mission. So with me moving to LA March 2nd, I had a gig, I think all my last gig was the 13th or the 12th. And after that, all of my other gigs canceled. So it was kind of one of those things, understanding or just taking notice to realize that what's happening is happening to everyone. Artists, I always feel, and I consider myself an artist, we tend to take what's happening in the world and absorb it a lot, and we put it into our work. So ironically, to move here and not have a feeling about what's happening and not be able to put it into my work, it kind of was it was kind of annoying in a way, because it's like I'm used to designing, coming up with designs, but in a way it made me realize that sometimes it's best to take a pause and learn about yourself, and learn about what things make you and help you be who you are. I'm the type of designer that I have to tell a story through my garments. I have to make sure that I'm expressing how I feel in a moment through every stitch, every drape, every cut, every color choice. It just allows you to create and to not be able to, I guess, to just feel all the emotion that was happening at the moment and not allowing that to push out was one of those things that made me realize this is real. So real that we are here virtually talking about it, and to be able to understand how to take what you're feeling and putting it in is putting it in your work is just a great way, and a great way to express how you feel to the audience, but also a great way to make sure you're staying in touch with yourself. I see we have questions. Yeah, we're going to get to questions throughout. So once I ask some questions or ask you guys if you have any questions, just let me know. Again, I have no reason right now to be nervous talking to you guys, but it's been a long time since I've been on TV or live broadcast talking about things. So bear with me if I talk fast. I'm just being human. If you need me to repeat something, let me know. Other than that, I can't wait to get into the first topic for today. One of the things I love doing and love making sure is right when I'm creating is sketching out and designing my design out. You have to make sketches. You have to sketch. You have to understand what it is that you're creating. Sometimes it can start as simple as it being a leaf or a flower. And with you creating it and putting your emotions into it, other times it can lead into something like placement or placement in music videos, placements in magazines, also placement with customers. You have to understand what you're creating not only tells who you are, but expresses who your audience is. And with me, when I design, I love when I have clients who have a distinctive idea of what it is that they want, especially with celebrities. Celebrities, they most of the time are asking you to create something because it's for a music video, it's for maybe a movie, or maybe just for red carpet. But being able to have that idea on hand or being inspired on hand is important. And one of the first steps and first fundamental tools you'll need to designing. You want to be able to sketch. And I think my next guest understands exactly the pressure, the idea of having to second guess on fabric, or knowing if the fabric is the right choice, or knowing if the design is the right choice. He was one of my favorite, actually everyone's my favorite, but he's one of my favorite. And he is Vinny from Project Runway. And this topic fits so well because he just placed a garment on Beyonce's awesome movie, Black is King. And I just want to know how he feels, because I already feel like through him getting something on Beyonce, I accomplished something. That's why I'm so happy and I'm cheesing. But we have Vinny.
Hey guys.
Hey
Hey Bishme.
there, Vinny.
Hey.
How are you? It's funny saying Vinny because you know I'm always saying bro.
Right.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, hanging in there, just working, hustling.
One
How
of the
about you?
things I'm doing great. I've been cheesing, and so I remember when you sent the text and you were like, I might have something. I said no. Take Mike out and say I have something.
Right.
Yeah. And when you told me that, it was one of those things that not only made me realize the pressure of designing, but also creating for a celebrity. So how did that make, can you just explain the process of like creating something that's top secret and also for someone like the Queen Beyonce?
I know. So, I mean, like because I mean, you've placed celebrities as well. This is not something that I just do. You do as well. So, I mean,
We do. We do.
it's yeah. So, I mean, it's really just stop, drop, and go. Like stop what you're doing and drop everything else and go to the fabric store right away. you
You
know?
Because if you don't, you're going to be sitting there like, what is it? What can I do?
Exactly.
You're going to get in your head. You're going to be sitting there getting in your head.
Right. Because I think that for the most part, whenever something like that happens, which again, I think Project Runway for that because it allows you to kind of like work under pressure. You never really have that much time. So whenever the stylist is reaching out to you, like you have to almost already have something ready or have the time to make what you need for whatever they're asking for because you may only have 2 days, 3 days.
And honestly, it's in designer head. That's one day. 2 days is one day because
Exactly.
it take the time to understand. But again, I think what's so amazing is that you never know what you're sewing for. Like sometimes you know, but other times
Right.
you have no idea what you're creating. Can you explain like the way how you came up with the design and like the concept that made you?
Yeah. I mean, so basically, I know that Zarina, who's Beyonce's stylist, she was asking for something structural. So I was like, great, because that's in my wheelhouse. That's what I love to do. I mean, not a fan of organza or no, all that stuff. So when she said she wanted something structural and something like outerwear, I was like, okay, so let me go ahead and submit some sketches. So I submitted like 6 to 7 sketches, different ideas. I know that she wanted to emphasize on either the shoulder or the hips to be exaggerated. So I made sure that I kept that in mind.
Mhm.
And then I sourced the fabrics here locally in Dallas, Texas. I actually have the fabric here. I didn't even realize that. I didn't plan it.
Show us.
Hold
Show
on, wait. One second.
Show us. We want to see the fabric. We need to.
Here's
The
the
people.
infamous fabric.
The people need to see.
I know. I'm
See
like,
it.
this is the fabric right here.
Oh,
So,
man.
I mean, I bought the rest of it so no one else could make anything out of it.
You said I have it. It's mine.
Right.
No one else.
Exactly. And then from there, I mean, it took because it was something that I had to focus on in terms of like the structure of the shoulders. And I didn't really know how to do that well. So I reached out to Garrow. Garrow is the master of
Garrow. Garrow. He's doing some great stuff as well. Like
exactly. Yeah.
it's amazing. Like how you said how you contacted Garrow. It's amazing to have those resources because
Right.
at the end of the day, like resources within what you do, because at the end of the day, you need to, like how you might need to figure something out. You need a friend to call, like phone a friend. You need to
Right. You need that lifeline.
use a lifeline to see how can this be constructed or how can it happen. And I think that's so important to have people like that, like just a call to get suggestions on things, because sometimes we get stuck in our head. And
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine how nerve-wracking it was while you were cutting to get the design sketch.
Yes.
And then what is it true or false? Do you feel this way? Your nervousness does not go away until you ship it off and you send the tracking number and the stylist respond back and says, yes.
Received. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because I'm like, what insurance should I put on this? Because I'm like, should I put it for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000? Like, I don't know what to do, you know, because
you're like, I need to figure it out, because if y'all don't get this to there, you're messing up my opportunity. And
right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, the nerves do not go away at all. I mean, the whole entire time, like, I just kept thinking, you know, Beyonce. I put her music on, and like for like 2 days straight, I didn't sleep because I was on like an adrenaline, you know. Like, I was like, I need to make this happen. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, well, I'm not sure, but like, I've submitted several things before, you know, so it's not like it's something I haven't done. So I just felt like, okay, this is the moment. So let me focus on making it perfect, you know, like, it needs to be perfect.
And I think what makes it so crazy is that you're not only fighting against nerves while you're designing, because it's an emotional thing. Like, it's like you're working out. It's an intense thing. You're going to sweat. You're going to be moving. You're going to be, but in the process of it, when you're there designing and trying to make sure what you see in your head comes out right, because you see the fabric and you manipulated the muslin so much to make sure you see it, and to get to the final product and see it like unfold, to step back and look. It's one of the best feelings. And I think the most important thing is like knowing yourself as well too, because while you're knowing yourself, you're going to know that you're going to complete it, no matter how
it's going to work out. Right, exactly.
Work out.
Yeah, that is so true. Like, keeping the end result of trusting your ability, trusting your talent, trusting your skill, and just envisioning what it's going to look like, and just trusting the process, basically, you know, like, trusting the process that what you sketched is going to make it work, you know. Like, if you need to reach out to a colleague or an associate or a fellow designer to help you out, or if you need to pull out a textbook or open up a YouTube just to get, like, you know, but just have that confidence that it will come through.
It will come through. I think before we end and part with you, one thing that I want to say, I think working side by side with you on Project Runway, it was not only a great thing to see another person that looked like you, but another great thing to also have that same idea of like bouncing back questions and ideas, and knowing, working within the community, within our community. How important, and it's almost time, but just in 2 minutes, how important is it to you to know yourself while you're creating garments or creating art?
It's very easy to get lost, you know, because you could want to throw everything in the kitchen sink into your design. And I think that's one thing that I learned at Project Runway was refinement, editing, and stripping away to kind of fine tune who you are as a creator or as a creative. But it's extremely important, because then that's how people can identify who you are without you even having to say anything, without there even having to be a label on the garment, like, without anyone telling you. Don't even have to sit where you're sitting. I could tell right now that outfit you have in the background, that's a Bishme outfit, because you've solidified a particular design, a particular aesthetic that is identifiable. And that's the kind of goal you want as a designer, because you want people to go to you for that purpose. So it's extremely important to know who you are.
You have to know. I think, again, it's so funny how many references we have from this show, but going through something like that, when you already deal with it on the day-to-day basis, but in that type of moment, you have to truly trust yourself, because you don't have a time to second guess, because the second guess you second guess, it might be the time that you get sent home, or
exactly.
you get in the bottom. Nobody wants the bottom.
Right. No one wants the bottom, or you just go ahead and make yourself a really hot mess outfit that you guys got to live up to, you know, feathers and everything.
Well, bro, I appreciate you so much, man. And I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to hang out with me and talk to me.
Anytime, Bishme. I appreciate it.
I'll if you want, please plug in your website and your Instagram right now.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
And I think we can copy and paste that into the chat. We're going to answer some questions. He also left his website as well. So again, Vinny, thank you.
Yes. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you, man. And I will be seeing you. I need to figure out how and when. I'll text you. So we can. This is me texting. Look, this text. Later.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I think I can ask a question. I'll answer a question. How do you recognize and understand that it is the moment? It's weird because you never know when the moment is. You just have to feel it and do it. If you sit there and second guess, or I guess try to not, again, like how Vinny said, you have to understand and know who you are. So if you have a thought and you think on it too long and don't act on it or make a list of steps to get to it, that thought is always going to be in your head. Like, maybe this is the moment. Maybe this is the moment. I thought March 2nd was the perfect moment to move to LA. And then a couple weeks later was the pandemic, and no one was really caring about fashion or clothing at the moment, because all we want to make sure and continuing to do right now is make sure we have masks or face covers to stay safe. And your moment comes and goes, but your moment comes and goes because you decide and pick what your moment is or when your moment is. Opportunities come when you are throwing into the universe what it is that you want to do for yourself. And I guess you have to, it's funny because I can't even imagine that I'm right here in this moment and can look back at all the things that I've done, and I still want more. And I think if I would have second guessed designing when I was 9 years old, or second guessed designing dresses when I was 15 years old, it would have made me always second guess that idea. And throughout the years, I've had so many grateful and important moments that helped me grow and become the person I am now. So that was a great question, as you can tell. That's not how I answered it. I wish I knew who it came from. One thing that I want to make sure that I mention and highlight from me and Vinny's convo is knowing your purpose. Like, when you know your purpose and you understand that you are able to complete a job or create that design that's in your head or create that piece of art that's in your head, it helps you. And you know with that it allows you to have a clear vision. And one person that I will be having joining soon is one of my friends and my dearest friends, Tamara Wells, who she revamped her own aunts and uncles' 90s t-shirt brand. Like, I can't wait till she comes on so she can explain. But I say all that to say, within their message, it's knowing your heritage. And I think when you know your heritage, you know your purpose, you know what you're fighting for, you know what you're going for, you know what you want to accomplish. And with New Heritage, from Tamara Wells, by Tamara Wells, my friend, it allows you to understand that it is okay and it's important, very, very amazing that you know who you are as a person, and also know your heritage, know where you come from, know where you're going. And it's one of those things that's going to always follow through in your collection and how you communicate to customers and how you communicate through through branding, how you communicate through your designs. It's all important. So you have to know yourself and have to be confident. This whole time, I'm going to make sure that I'm uplifting you guys, informing you on things to do, and also just making sure whatever it is that you do, you just stay passionate about it and stay true to yourself, because it'll follow through. It'll always follow through. Tamara is one of my friends that, again, I'll be having. I think she's calling in. I think she'd be logging in. And with knowing your heritage, here we go.
Hi.
Oh my goodness! Hi, friend. Give me a hug. I'm hugging you virtually. Hello there. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? I love the pink.
You love the pink? I was trying to have like my little pink situation going on.
Okay.
90s vibe, like little 90s vibe.
I love
No,
it.
I just was having a conversation with Benny, and I think it's amazing that we're talking, because what I love so much about New Heritage is that the brand is all about empowering the Black people, us, making sure that we know we're important, know that it's good to know where we come from. So I just want you to explain more, because I'm always so happy. I have a Black man shirt that I purchased from you that I love so much. Take it away.
Okay, well, I'm the owner of New Heritage. New Heritage is a 90s inspired unisex clothing brand that I relaunched to pay homage to my late aunt and uncle, who were the original founders back in the 90s. Well, early 80s, kind of. And they launched the brand in Baltimore, actually, at Mondawmin Mall. And they had like a small kiosk. And from that kiosk, they generated so many sales that they opened up another store at the Mart 125 across the street from the Apollo Theater in New York. So it was worn on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Living Color, all like the 90s shows. And this is definitely a major time right now, because right now they're playing all these shows again, and it's just the times that we're in. It just makes sense. Like, I'm here.
Much like with everything that's
Hello?
happening. Hello,
Bishme.
can you hear me?
Hello.
I can hear you. We're having a little. Can you hear me? We were having a little mix up, but like Tamara was saying, like to have a brand like the brand her aunt and uncle made, New Heritage, seeing everything, made it so. I don't know. I remember seeing it on Martin, Will Smith, and to know that I know someone who's a part of that, not only putting out a positive message, but allowing a brand to speak and showcase how relevant it is. And because I didn't know how I was going to carry this. I was pulling it out. I was like, how am I carry it? No. Just watch out for the mute button. We got.
Okay.
It's one of the things that I love, and what I would want to get back into is how important is it to you to know your heritage? Because that's what you state throughout the message through the brand, and that's what I love so much about the brand and this message. Like you make sure you tell people to find out who you are and know who you are. And how? Just answer that for me. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, let's go back to when I was growing up. Like, I grew up in fashion. So my aunt, of course, she was a model, and she was, she ran with the big dogs, actually, like Michael Kors, Manolo Blahnik. So for me to, carry on the legacy, it's just a part of my heritage. So for anyone else, it's just like, think back and look back and study, your family history, because the things that you do, it may coincide with what you love to do because of your heritage from where you came from.
Exactly. I love the fact that New Heritage is so relevant for what's going on, for the atmosphere to be happening right now. Police
Yeah.
brutality, and trying to just seeing everything that's happening and making colored people as a whole just feel uninspired to see a brand like New Heritage have a black man face on it, saying black man, and showcasing that, even with the shirt that you have on now, showcasing that we are important. We showcase so much more. And I think with what's
Yeah.
with Heritage existing right
Even
now. Can we hear? Can you hear me? You can hear me? Even with all of the stuff that's happening, just to have a brand,
yeah, even with the black man shirt, like my uncle, he created that shirt in the 90s, and it was during the time of the Rodney King here in LA. So it just, and for him to put black man on the shirt, and it's like an actual, black man, big lips, bald head, like it just symbolizes us as, as a whole.
no, I think that makes it important to showcase that having representation in fashion is also always important. Having brands that acknowledge you or allows you to question who you are as a person, because at the end of the day, it's always amazing to know who you are. It's always amazing to tap in to find out how are you, why are you the way you are, and what makes you happy. So having brands like yours allow people to understand that the message is clear and spot on. One thing that I want to ask you is that with everything that has been happening, with everything that's been happening, how hard or how easy has it been for you to push the brand?
Easy. Actually, with everything, with the celebration, it's kind of a celebration because everyone is celebrating black owned businesses right now. So it's like we're at the top of everything that's going on. Like everyone wants to have a black owned piece. So that's like the good part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the production, like when we first started on lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like the printing companies that I get my shirts from, they closed.
Oh man.
I had to immediately think of ways that, okay, there's a need, like people want to buy the brand, but okay, how am I going to maneuver this to where it can work?
It can work.
And I'm sure you went through the same.
When it happened, it was one of those things that made me realize that you have to tap into your brand purpose as much as possible, because this is the best time to allow people to get to know you, get to engage. Honestly, it's funny that I could say it now, but during the time I was so uninspired and just sad by everything that was happening that I wasn't inspired to do anything or make or create. So my best idea that I thought would have made sense is to create masks and donate them to Johns Hopkins. So sometimes you are putting and helping out and putting a message out and helping in a way when you think it's the smallest way possible. You helped me as well, so I want to thank you with those masks, like having that opportunity to take a messed up take a messed up time or a difficult time for us business owners and turn it into something positive and amazing. So I have another question for you. With New Heritage staying so on top, like one of your new shirts is "I Can't Breathe," and the fact that it's so authentic and it's relevant allows people to understand that you're serious. You're so on top of staying on what's happening. My question to you is, how important is it to you to make sure that you are showing that we are, like, brands are paying attention to what's happening in the Black community?
Well, the reason why I did that shirt, like, put "I Can't Breathe," because it went like I said, that Black man image, my uncle created it back in the 90s during the Rodney King, beatings. And it's just like, I can go back to that shirt. Like, I have that actual shirt and it says Black man. And I wanted to, 2020 is definitely "I Can't Breathe." Like, literally, we're walking around with masks on. No one can hear us. No one can see us. We can't breathe. And then there are Black men that are being, like, it's all this police brutality that's going on. Like, Black men are being beaten. Black men are being hung. Like, it's so much that's going on that I want to actually make that. I made that shirt so it could be archival, so that like, when you pass that shirt down to the little ones, they'll look back to 2020 and they'll see, like, oh, 2020, this is what happened. We couldn't breathe. There was Black men. It was the boom for the Black business. Like, so
and the crazy thing about it, you will hope that by the time, with it being a collective piece, you want to hope that with this having a meaning, that by the time it gets to a certain generation, they don't have to worry about what's been happening. They can just look at the history of things and be smarter and move a different way, and learning how to not only voice how important it is to see how important it is to be Black and an artist and just Black period, but to know that it's okay to freely live and be who you are in your skin. I can't explain. I'm always telling you how proud I am of you. I can't stress it enough that you are carrying your aunt and uncle's legacy and keeping that message alive. And for you to be able to for us to be able to still be in those times and you to make light of it and be positive it's just a great thing, and it's uplifting to me to be able to be a Black man myself and see it and understand that there's brands who understand who's there for us and holding us down and celebrating us.
Right.
Before we are done, I want you to tell us what you have next, what you have available, plug in all of your social media platforms.
I've been working on fall winter. So I have crew necks coming and sweatshirts, and possibly, I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it, but I'm working on masks because a lot of my clients, like customers, have been asking for masks. I'm like, I really don't want to, but I have masks coming.
Masks coming. They have been.
It's like the new. It's like the new baseball cap.
It's definitely a new baseball cap. For me, I have to make sure I match. I have to make sure I match my outfit some type of way, because if it's not cohesive, it's gonna mess my whole outfit up. Plug in your Instagram and your everything.
So the Instagram is The New Heritage Brand. You can find the website is newheritagebrand.com, and my personal, I always put like positivity and like fashion things on my personal. Is Can You Say Purple? It's CAN, the letter USY, purple. Purple's my favorite color. So yeah, check us out. Is that it?
Oh no, I thought you would look.
Oh, okay.
This is how we talk on a regular. You know, I'm always like, okay.
What about the new basketball shirt? You know, basketball is being on lockdown, right? Like, you know, lockdown right now. So it's important for us. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Can you see me? Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I think what
Okay.
we
Okay.
I want to say it was a great time having you on. Again, you could follow you on say the two Instagrams again.
The New Heritage Brand, and then newheritagebrand.com.
And then yours.
Can you say purple? CAN, the letter U, SAY, purple.
Gotcha. Thank you, love. I can't wait. Thank you for having the opportunity and the chance to come on and talk. And also thank you for sharing your story about New Heritage with everyone.
Thank you so much, Bishme. I love you.
Love you more. Later. I'm happy because Tamara, again, having a friend like Tamara who has a brand who allows you to feel important and pushing out positivity is important. So I think having that or knowing that way how to put in and make sure that you are knowing your audience and the people. One of my friends who talked to me and she talks and give me advice about knowing how to brand and how to connect with the audience. Her name's Damn Cam. And I'm going to call her by her last name, Miss Gross, but that's Miss Damn Cam. She's one of the people that I run to when I have a question about consumers or understanding how to reach out and put the brand is it's just one of those things that allow you to know how you can push your people. I will make sure that, well, I can actually take some questions now. We're going to wait for Cam to come in. There's a question. There are tens of thousands of fashion designers. How do you create, how do you create your aesthetic? You cannot create your aesthetic. You have to find your aesthetic. You find your aesthetic through your purpose. Maybe you love the shape or the way that things are pleated because it reminds you of pianos, or you used to play the piano. It's something that's about you that you have to put inside of your brand. For me, in my mind, I feel like I was like an architect in my past life. I love buildings. I love the shape of buildings. But one of the things that I love the most is talking to my friend Cam, and I'm happy to have her with me. Hi, love.
Hey, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be on with Bishme Cromartie.
I'm excited to have you, love. I just got off with talking with Tamara about the importance of knowing your purpose, and how that allows you to like kind of connect with your audience. And when it comes to you, the guru, the one and only who, like when I say come on everybody, let's vogue. When you have to, you're one of the people that study and understand and look into the consumers. And I think one thing I want to ask you is, how important is it to make sure you are connecting to people with your brand, whether it's a clothing brand, whatever type of brand it is?
I mean, I think it's very important because it goes back to your purpose, right? So, you know, with your brand, you serve a purpose, and it's to serve your consumers, to serve the people that you want to eventually, you know, buy into your product and be a part of something that's bigger than you that you're creating. So it's very, very important.
And one thing that I love about you, you pay attention to, you have an ability to pay attention to, I'm going to say people behavior, like it's customer behavior, but people behavior, whether it's with trend or lifestyle. And can you explain how knowing your person can further your brand, like knowing knowing what the person's about, knowing why they eat. Why is that important? Like, why?
To know your consumer is so important because you need to know kind of one, what they're thinking before they think about it, because you want to serve them products that one, they will like. And then also two, you want to kind of, we change all day, every day. We're constantly growing. So it's very important to one, grow with your consumer as they are in the marketplace with you. So you can study the trends. You can know, okay, I know that in 5 months, my consumer is really going to want colorful pieces, or they're going to be into floral or something like that. So I know that I can serve them that product before they even, get onto that.
Oh, see, and the fact that it's like you have to be confident in what you're creating, but also kind of like know the future, but knowing the future using what you just explained, like using the tools of like how the people are changing, how they're operating, how they move. Why for me, what I love so much when you pay attention and when I talk to you about these things, how advanced do you think we will get? So like with the pandemic happening right now, what do you think will be the next way of lifestyle? Or like,
I think the next way of lifestyle is definitely going to be very intimate. You're going to want to be with your close friends and want to be in smaller groups. And it's going to be, although it may sound cliquey, it's going to be very cliquey. So you're going to have, your groups of people that you hang with. And I think that your personal style will then also too transcend within those smaller groups. So you'll say, hey, I have a group of five friends, and we're all into this, whether it's health, fitness, whether it's a certain type of fashion trend. I think it's just going to be more smaller groups, and as well as being very intimate.
and then I think what's going to be so awesome about that is that purpose, when it comes to, I guess, like having a selective amount of a product and having those that like we say, that click, or that small group of people be able to be, I guess, your advertisement. Because while you're doing small and making everything more intimate, those people are now able to have more deeper conversations and talk about why they like brands and why this brand is so important because they get to this, or they could see and understand and explain the brand a little bit better. Another question I have for you, Cam, is that when it comes to knowing your, like we touch the basis of knowing your customer, understanding the future of things. But my next thing is when it comes to you being confident in what you are pushing to your customers and your consumers, how important is it to you to stand behind your brand and stand behind your message? Because we see so many messages every day from brands. How important is that for the person to make sure they push that out?
I think it's very important because it gives your consumer a sense of trustworthiness, right? So if you're confident and your customer believes in you, then there's nothing to deny. You have to be you have to, know your product, believe in your product 100% before you even push it out. Because, it's very, very, and I think that's so important. I know that sometimes, just as entrepreneurs, as designers, whatever art space or space that you're in, sometimes it's very hard to say, okay, should I do this or should I not do this? I'm going to stand on a fence about it. I just say, if you have that intuition in it and you first believed in it, don't second guess it. And don't keep going back and forth about, oh, should I do this? No, you believed in it in the beginning and kind of sticking with that. And you kind of also too have to have like a tunnel vision when it comes to your product. You have to say, okay, I love my product. I know my product. I believe in my product. So therefore, I'm the brand ambassador for my brand. Number one. So if I push out something, I love it and it's going to be believable because I'm trustworthy. I am, the face of my brand. I am the creator of this.
I think one thing that's so like touching on, like with you being an entrepreneur, with you being a person who is great with branding, creative director, just a all around influencer. How important do you, and I know important, we are stressing importance, but one thing that I love, and when we talk, we make sure we talk about what's important about doing things, how important it is. But for me, how do you you make sure you get your message across about what you care about? And especially with right now, one of your businesses is with clients. Like I'm ordering one to ship to LA, right?
Yeah.
You ship to LA? Okay.
No, actually, I don't ship to California because USDA regulations.
Gotcha. So I have to come and get my special plan. So the way how you are branding that and showcasing that, it's you, the way how you're using coloring, why must you showcase your face, and how important is it showcasing your face when you do have a brand and you are an influencer?
I think it's so important because you have to understand that you can rely on your influence no matter big or small. And you already have people that follow you that you can kind of create your story and share and express your story. Just to give you guys a background on me, I started in the marketing field. I was a digital marketing manager for Geico headquarters, managing over $21 million for them. And then I transitioned into the creative art space where, I became a DJ. And then I transitioned into, plants. I think it's really showing that growth and showing your process. One allows people to relate to you and, kind of say, hey, I believe in this person. I understand that they have ups and downs. I've watched them through that entire transition.
And they connect with you because while they're connecting with you, it's like your customers are getting a way of they're getting a way to learn about who you are as a person, so that they are now purchasing from a brand and a person that they know and trust and want to be like. Because who do not want to look like Cam right now? I want this top. I want the male version of this top right now.
Stop.
I love when we have our conversations about where we think things are going next and how we feel about businesses and how important it is to do fashion, but make sure that the message behind fashion is pushed.
Oh my gosh, so important now.
And when I remember talking to you about the switch happening really soon, where brands have to show what their purpose is and connect to the audience, and not only in a way of like why their clothes are amazing, but also what do you do? And my question to you is, I'm trying to figure out how not to say important again, but important is it?
I know. It's so hard.
Important, but forget it. I'm going to say it. How important is it to make sure that one, you're not only are you being the face and putting a great message, but how important is it to showcase what you do, like what your brand do, whether it's community service or giving back or helping out with pollution or doing things? Why must brands showcase that other side to the world?
Because right now it's about your why. And you said that, a lot. It's about your why. Why are you doing this? I think sometimes we get focused on the what. Okay, so yes, I'm a designer. Yes, I'm making clothes. But what is your why? It's more so, okay, what do you stand on? What makes you, your brand different? And then also, too, how are you giving back to the community in any way? And why did you start this? I think now more than ever in the state of the world and everything is going on, it's purpose. Everything has to have a purpose, no matter if it's your T-shirt with a logo on it. It's a purpose. I'm wearing this to show plug. I'm wearing this to showcase that it's a purpose. It's so important. I think it just boils down to your why. Why did you start?
Why?
Why did you start, Bishme?
Why did I start? I started because I realized that not only do I love fashion, but fashion is the best way that I can communicate through not using words, but using my talent, my God-given talent. And the reason why when I was in Baltimore, I was giving back and making sure that I worked with the children at the Baltimore Design School. Woo, woo. I was helping them and just talking to them because I always wanted to go to a school that had fashion in it, but to go to a school to help volunteer at a school where there's kids who look like me or growing up around the same areas I grew up in, it's it's one of the things that allow you to realize that it's more than just making beautiful garments. It's about your heart. And I started because BC not only represents Bishme Cromartie, but BC represents Baltimore City. So no matter where I go, I will always make sure that I'm representing and putting the message out about confidence and staying true to where you come from. I want you to plug in because I want to know why are you so amazing? Because I know why you are amazing. And what I kept stressing throughout this whole time is confidence and everything. And you're one of my friends who have the most amazing confidence. Why is it so important to know who you are and why did you do what you do? Why do you do what you do?
Okay.
It's the mic. Take the mic.
No, it's just like take the mic and I'm about to tear up. No, but honestly, I think because I wanted fulfillment. And I wanted to feel fulfilled. And I think that the thing is really about feeling fulfilled and feeling okay. It's not, I would say comfortable. I don't like to use the word comfortable, but being secure in yourself and saying, I know that what I'm doing right now is totally me. And what I'm gonna do in the future is gonna also lead me into my future self. And I don't know. I really just feel like just operating off spirit.
Come on now.
And just operating off spirit, because I think sometimes, like when I quit my job, in 2016.
And someone asked, like, when do you know it's the moment? And the fact that I had to butt in and say this, but the fact that you quit your job, that's a moment right there. Why in that moment did you know that you had to do that though?
Because I knew that I had a feeling within myself that it wasn't right. And I said to myself, okay, do you want to manage, $21 million for someone, or do you want to go make your own? And I will say the road has not been easy. And it's 2020. And it has taken me 4 years, and I'm finally on the path of like, okay, I finally feel like now, okay, all of that was worth it, but I went through a lot. But it's an amazing journey. I wouldn't take it back for the world. Not telling anybody to go quit your job tomorrow, but
don't quit
tomorrow. But
it's your moment, not what Miss Cam.
Your moment.
Listen, Cam said to do it today.
No, listen, then somebody come back and say, oh, Cam said to quit my job. No, don't say that. Cam did not. No, I think when you feel it, and you'll get the signs and you'll be like, okay, should I do this? And then you keep thinking about it, just do it. Not saying it's going to be easy, but just do it. And and I will say, Bishme, I applaud Bishme, and I know we're running over time, but I really applaud you, and I really love you, and I would just want to say I'm so proud of you, and thank you for just even bringing me on and sharing this spotlight with me. And you're so amazing. I'm so proud of you. I could say so many stories about Bishme. Okay, we struggle together, okay?
We don't have tea time.
We struggle together, and it's been all worth it.
It's been so worth it. I have to say that when I'm even going to take it back to when I was talking to Vinny. I asked Vinny, why is it important to have like people around you? Even in your that has your same job title. But I think it's so important to have people around you who are creative, who have the mind frame like you, but who also think a little bit more ahead and who are smart. If you don't have smarter people around you, you're not around a good group of people. It's important to have those people because when you are creating art, when you are creating fashion, when you are putting out, trying to envision what it is that you want to do, there's going to be times when you just need a friend who understands and who's also an entrepreneur themselves to give you that advice that you need, because it's hard. It's already hard being a human being in these times, but it's hard to fight through that and push through every day. We are our own bosses. If we don't get up if we don't do anything, if we don't tell ourselves, if we don't listen to that alarm and do what we have to do, nothing will happen. This dress won't be done. Understanding and being able to have this conversation with my amazing friend Cam wouldn't happen. It's like you have to stay on that beaten path. Cam, I love you because you are literally amazing. I want you to plug in all your social media platforms and just tell the people what you have coming up and where they can reach you at.
Okay, you guys can follow me at Damn Cam on all social media platforms, specifically Instagram. I use that a lot. But at DAMNKHAM Cam, I have a plant business. So I sell dwarf trees and I sell banana trees, coconut trees, whatever type of tree you looking for, I got it. Okay. Listen, I got it. I really love plants, and I just think that is a perfect time to get into growing your own fruit and, you know, really setting the foundation to, you know, prosper. So you can just follow me at DamnCam, and you can click the link to divine.com in the bio. Feel free to DM me. I'm very sociable. I'm a social butterfly, so feel free to DM me, contact me, you know, let's chat, whatever. I'm very open. So Bishme, thank you. I love you, and I can't wait for you to call me after this.
I can't. I have one more thing that I want you to state. Can you, for anyone out there, or like a young lady who looks like you, who as fly as you right now, trying to figure out what to do? Can you, or if it's the time, can you just tell her what you would tell like your 13-year-old self right now on just the confidence and going after your dreams?
Sis, take it easy and relax on yourself. Okay. Listen, don't put so much pressure on yourself. You got it. Don't think that, okay, I'm not where I want to be. I should be doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, you know where you're going. You know what you want. Just stay on it and just go for it. Don't feel too much pressure. Don't really beat yourself up, because you can really stress yourself out. Stress yourself out thinking that you're not where you're supposed to be. I should be here, or this person is doing this. I think that social media is really like screwy and like can get in people's heads. But really, just listen, girl, you got it. Guy, girl, whoever, you got it. Be confident. You got it. You already know. You know you're a boss in your head. Stop playing.
I got snapped.
Right.
You know, that's the quote. You know you're a boss in your head, period. Cam, I love you. I want to call you after this. I'll see you, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the amazing, you know, production team behind this, and thank you guys. This is really great. All right, Bishme, see you. Okay.
See ya. Guys, I am going to take some questions, but I'm just really thankful that I was able to talk about the process and just a little bit more about how. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Mama, can you hear me? One thing that I wanted to stress that I made sure I did throughout this whole. One thing I wanted to make sure I stayed throughout this whole time with me is stressing the importance, and the key word today is importance. The stressing the importance of confidence and making sure that you know your purpose. The designs and art ideas, everything comes together, but you know your purpose should always stay. You have to make sure that you are holding on to who you are, because if you do that, that follows through with everything you do. I'm able to take a couple of questions. If you are able to hear me, can you guys let me know if there are any questions? Can you hear me? This is yeah. Any questions? I'm gonna take some. Okay. Well, I am going to end it. this is my time. I want to thank everyone because I'm not sure if you guys are hearing me correctly. So I want to thank everyone, and I want to thank you all for having me. Bopa, thank you, and thank you for everyone for just tuning in and taking the time to spend some time with me. Later.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Bishme. Thank you to Bishme Cromartie and all of his amazing friends, Vinny, Tamara, and Cam, for a riveting conversation this evening. What a way to end this Artist Talk Cafe series. Thank you again. That was amazing. Great information, great fun. And we're excited to see what's coming for all of you in the near future. Bopa is continuing to bring in the art in August. Please tune in for our remaining August events. Check out the Beat 2020 exhibition in our online gallery featuring works from some of the best in Baltimore. The exhibition is running now through the end of October. This coming Sunday is our last pop-up exhibition in partnership with the Hot Sauce Collaborative featuring artist McKinley Wallace. The finale exhibition will take place from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at 1706 North Charles Street in Baltimore. Join us Saturday evening as we spin the virtual ones and twos with DJ Jay Gray. Party with us on YouTube and Facebook live from 7 to 8 p.m. this Saturday evening. And lastly, Artscape Online Artist Market. There's only 3 more days to shop and support artists in our online artist market featuring 75 local and regional artists. More information on how to access the online market and all of our upcoming events, grants, and programs can be found on our website at www.promotionandarts.org. Again, thank you so much for watching with us this evening. Have a great night.